Hello, football fans. Well, I apologize for being late for this, but postseason baseball was on, and I couldn't get away from those amazing, amazing games. But yeah. So week 4 came and went, and it didn't start well for the green and gold. But Jordan Love's continuing to show out, and he's um, he's continuing to prove the doubters wrong with some. They're actually so-called Packers fans stupid enough to call him a bust, even though he has the same number of touchdown passes as Patrick Mahomes. Let that sink in. So what else happened in week 4? Ah, yes, Taylor Swift appeared in New Jersey, and a game was played. Um, Kansas City. I don't know what it is about the Chiefs. For they've had this recent knack for barely surviving against teams that they should just blow out. Thankfully, I'm a Packers fan, and I spent years watching Aaron Rodgers destroy bad teams and destroy a few good ones too. Yeah, but yeah. So they got out of there 23-20, and with Taylor Swift and many celebrities in attendance, it was crazy. And of course, NBC put the camera on her a lot because they knew this was supposed to be Rodgers versus Mahomes, but Rodgers out for the year. So they knew with the GOAT out, this would be a shit show. So they put the camera on Taylor Swift a lot. But yeah, they barely survived the Jets. Zach Wilson Jets. That's pretty damning. You know what else is damning? Getting blown out by Houston. What the hell is happening with the Steelers? Oh boy. They cost me in ESPN's Eliminator Challenge. Because the Eliminator Challenge, for those who don't know, it's a game every year. It's played on the ESPN app. I think on Yahoo sometimes. You select one team, and as long as that team wins, you're still alive in the game. But you have to select a different team. You can't select the same team. And I picked Pittsburgh because they're playing Houston. Playing Houston's the same as a bye week. Yeah, the only thing that went bye was Pittsburgh's offense and defense, and probably the quarterback. Oh, and the tight end's injured. What is up with that team? But anyway, um, Indy came back from 23-0 against the Rams, but they lost in overtime. And Jacksonville had the London game, the first of two. They're still in London now, but I'm just going on the NFL site to check out the schedule. But yeah, the NFL, yeah, I love those. I love those international games. It's amazing. Plus the West Coast, that means a way early start time. So you wake up in the morning and there's football. It's beautiful. But anyway, but yeah, Jacksonville took down the Falcons, and Jacksonville won. Houston won. Tennessee beat down the Bengals, and with the Colts loss, everybody in the AFC South is 2-2. That's amazing. I don't think I've seen anything like that in a while. But yeah, and of course we had the AFC South battle between the Dolphins and Bills, which went to Bills. Where the Bills just laid the smackdown on Miami. So the paradigm shift is directed back towards the Bills. Oh, and DeMar Hamlin came back and played. That was a great moment to see. And oh yeah, Dallas beat down the Patriots. What's left of them? The Niners are still undefeated. So is Philly. They're the only two unbeaten teams in the league. Though Philly had a tough time with Washington. That seems to be a theme because last year, I remember, it was last November. Philly was the only Philly was the only undefeated team left, and Washington took them down in Philly's place too. Uh, that game, but that game, Philly won in overtime this past Sunday, and Monday Night Football, poor Giants. They just got trashed and demolished. It was just insane. They were 2-0-3, 2-0-3 versus 0-3 games. Minnesota got their first win. I don't know what's wrong with the Panthers. I had them winning the division. I don't know why, but I did. Because I thought, well, The Falcons are still with the Falcons. The Saints have a few bit of ways to go, and Tampa's getting used to life without Brady. So I figured Carolina would kind of take it, and they are not even close to it. They're 0-4. They're 0-4, and the NFC South appears to be better than it was last year because you got 3-1 lead the division, and the other 0-3 versus 0-3 game was Denver and Chicago, and Denver was pissing me off at the start because they were down 28-7 against the glorified pop water team known as the Chicago Bears. How does that happen? But they came back and won because it's the Bears. Everybody beats the Bears. But yeah, this should not have been difficult. This should not have been a difficult win for Denver. Denver should have beaten them into submission. They ought to know about that. They were beaten into submission a week before this. That should have riled them up. Instead, they were getting ready to bend the knee to the Bears. But they got out of it. Even so, I still say the Avalanche and Nuggets need to kick them out of the state because barely surviving the Chicago Bears should receive some punishment. That's ridiculous. You're supposed to blow out teams like that. But anyway, so week 4 was eventful. It's the last week before. It's the last week without buys. The buys come in this week, week 5, and what's in store for us in week 5? Well, today's officially Thursday. Again, I apologize for being late for this, but postseason baseball, you got to drink that in. What is it? Oh yeah, week 5 begins with Thursday Night Football. The Bears and the Commanders. That's in Washington. Washington's going to show Denver how to just beat down Chicago because, like I said, everybody beats the Bears. And we have another London game, and it's the Jaguars again against the Bills. It's always interesting when those teams get together. Because I remember when the Jaguars were kind of bad. Well, they were really bad. They actually beat Buffalo in one game. It was crazy. Houston, amazing. Could Houston end up winning the division? Part of me hopes they do. I do miss those years when Houston was good. They would win the AFC South, and they were always the first. They were always the first game to kick off the overall playoffs. They were the first game on that wild card Saturday. I do miss those years. I want those years back. But Houston needs to win games. They're 2-2. They're doing some things right. Who knows? But yeah. I mentioned the Panthers. That's who the Lions are playing, and that makes me feel a little bit uneasy. I want to trust the Panthers, but I don't know. I mean, if you lose to the Vikings, you'll lose to anybody. That's another team pretty much everybody beats. But yeah. So we got a big AFC South game. The Titans and the Colts play each other. That's the whole division's playing for first place, really. Uh, but yeah, it's just great. Oh, Bengals, not Bengals. The Bengals are in Arizona, so they should win that game. They should just kill Arizona. Ravens are in Pittsburgh, face the Steelers. It's always fun when those two teams get together. The Jets face the Broncos. That's big because remember, Sean Payton spent like the entire offseason talking trash about Hackett, though he wasn't wrong. Hackett is a fucking idiot. So we'll see what happens. If the Jets win, oh boy. Chiefs are in Minnesota, so yeah, the Chiefs have a bye. Sunday night game, oh baby. Sunday night game is Cowboys and Niners. It's in Santa Clara. It's always good. It's been good for 40 years when the Niners and the Cowboys get together because that's been the NFC rivalry ever since. That's been an NFC rivalry ever since some guy named Joe Montana became the quarterback for the Niners, and they would clash with the Cowboys quite a bit. It all started with the catch about 4 decades ago, and they've been going at it ever since. Of course, in the '90s, they were the top 2 teams in the conference. Of course, the Packers were trying to join them at the big boys table. And speaking of Packers, we're on Monday night in Sin City against the Raiders. So we get to face Josh McDumbass. Beautiful. And the first buys are handed out. The Browns, the Chargers, the Seahawks coming off the Monday night win, and the Bucks coming off the good feeling of leading the NFC South. They are all off this week. Those are the first buys of the season. So that's my recap of week 4. If you like this video, click the like button. For those of you on YouTube, click subscribe if you want more. For those of you on TikTok, feel free to hit that follow button. Uh, my story recapping week 4 will be featured. Check it out when you can. I'm going to be back very soon to recap the Wild Card series because all 4 series ended this week. But I'll talk more about that later. And I will definitely be more timely when I recap week 5. I will definitely try. So, and I'm very excited because we're this close to hockey starting. Oh man, Avs are getting that comeback. But anyway, so that's my recap of week 4. So stay tuned for more.